Hello friends, welcome again. I hope you are enjoying the videos so far in the Data Engineers Club. There is a lot of interesting things to come. So I am again coming here to announce that we are releasing another video, another episode in this mock interview series, which you are truly liking, right? So in this video, Sachin is the one who would be conducting the interview. He is working in Happiest Minds as a data engineer for last few years. His primary skill set lies around PySpark and Azure cloud related technologies, be it Azure Data Factory, Databricks, and others. Right? So he is a seasoned data engineer with good experience, good exposure, and he is doing great. Now the person who would be attending the interview is Suman. Suman has around 7 years of industry experience. He started his career in automation, working with technologies like Python, Unix shell scripting, and so on. Later, he transitioned into data engineering. He has 3 years of experience in data engineering as of now, and he has been doing really great in this field. Again, his skill set lies around PySpark and Azure related cloud. So I feel Sachin would be the best person to interview Suman because their skill sets match, and this should be a great interview for all of you who are hearing this. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, do subscribe now because we are coming with a lot of interesting stuff over the time.
Yeah, hi Sachin.
Thanks.
Yeah, so basically, I have started working as a shell script developer, and later I worked as a Python developer for 3 years, and also simultaneously I prepared for this data engineering roles. So like I have done for the course for like 1 year now, and I am also working right now as a data engineer in HSBC. I mean, as a client, I'm working in Capgemini right now. I started my career from Ericsson, and I have overall 7 years of experience in IT industries. So, basic tech stack in related to data engineering that I have data factory in Azure, Databricks, and the Azure storage, ATLS Gen 2 and blob storage, and also PySpark. And I am recently started working on Scala also. Python, PySpark, SQL, and these kind of data engineering tools and technologies.
Great. So Suman, let me know about your project responsibilities.
Right now, I am in a data engineering project, which is basically maintaining our data assets, and we have a data refinery framework, which we are developing and also enhancing. And this data refinery framework mainly built on Scala, and also we actually don't need to do ingestion and all kind of data collection work, and we only define the schema, and if we need to correct the particular schema or the rectify the data or for cleaning and all, we do this in our data refinery framework. And we used to do maintaining a particular data refinery data assets, and currently we are maintaining 42 data assets right now, which is divided like master data asset and group data assets also. So master data assets are basically the data which we gathered from the ingestion team, and after that we process those data and run our pipelines on Airflow. And once we commit our code for any type of changes, any type of version changes, any type of schema changes, or any operations, because once we collect those data, we used to do on PySpark transformations, right? Like only Spark transformations, but these methods are written on only Scala. So we just call it in a particular class and methods, and do the required transformations. And then once we check out our code, once we push our code, it is already inbuilt a CI/CD process, by which it was the Jenkins and Ansible towers which do the deployments. And some of the pipelines. Once it is approved in UAT, we used to run our pipelines in Airflow so that it will be get deployed in the next prod deployment. Yeah, that's it.
So you said you're comfortable about Scala and
Yeah,
PySpark.
Scala I'm basically learning, but as I
Mhm.
have started as a Python developer, so PySpark is
PySpark. How about SQL?
SQL is good. I'm comfortable with it.
Okay, great. Like when you're describing your code using SQL, so can you let me know the best practices you're well aware?
For
SQL. Yeah,
SQL,
SQL.
okay, means describing the code means
So you're writing your logic, right, using a
yeah,
SQL. So
yeah.
maybe what are the best practices you follow up to make sure your query is well efficient in processing and so on?
Yeah. So basically, for SQL queries, optimization is needed sometimes because we process huge amount of data, not only on test data, but only production data also. So basically, we try to push the predicate down so that all the filters will be working in a particular manner. We use join transformations to optimization techniques like broadcast joins rather than any type of normal joins which requires more time and and resources. So these kind of things I have implemented, and also aggregations functions and also doing a particular manner of sort of ordering based on the window functions and all. So I have also used that.
So just to add on right to the statements, so I just asked about SQL specifically. So broadcast and all these functionalities are well equipped in PySpark. So
Yeah.
in SQL alone, so you can maybe describe saying like you select on the necessary columns. So
Okay.
you are doing some processing down the line, you select only necessary columns what are
Hmm.
required, and then make sure your source tables are partitioned if you're using on a Databricks environment. So
Hmm.
make sure your source tables, couple of columns have been partitioned. You can use the filter clauses on those partitioned columns. So that
Okay.
enables better from a different environment apart from Databricks.
Hmm.
So you'll obviously go with a couple of primary keys while
Okay.
joining, of course. So even
Hmm.
while partition, even while filtering, the primary keys can be one of the column to
Hmm.
filter across. And what else, like yes, the other things you mentioned like using the right type of join is
Yeah.
much important. And of course when you save that table, it has to be saved with the partition key if it is in Databricks, or if it is on a different environment, it is
Hmm.
better to create a primary key or any identity column on your table,
Okay.
so that
Okay.
can handle things better. Just to
Okay.
add
Okay.
on that.
For SQL, for like it will be like SQL. If we have mentioned like normalizations, it will be also good, right? Like.
That depends. That depends. Normalization actually depends on the downstream of those tables. Like if
Hmm.
you are using that table, it depends. Normalization definitely depends on the scenarios. So
Okay.
normalization works in few cases and may not work better in different cases. So
Okay.
yeah. mm, for the optimization technique specific to SQL, these lines will
Hmm.
illustrate better. And you're using a subquery, so you're aware of subquery, right?
Yeah.
So
CT and all.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, no, CTE is a different thing. So in a subquery, so within an in clause, you tend to write some select statements
In a
so that
first parenthesis. Yeah.
yes, yes. So that can also be avoided in most of the cases because in clause and subqueries tend to take up some processing capabilities there. So it
Okay.
can be avoided. It can be replaced with the temp tables or CTEs, as you said. So,
Okay.
these are like alternatives when you are in a scenario to avoid subqueries. So you can be using CTEs and so on.
Okay.
So you're well aware of data frames, right, on PySpark?
Yeah.
Yeah. Suppose I do some transformations, basically filtering and all these stuffs. So, do you know what a transformation is and what an action is?
Yeah, transformations are lazy operations. Basically, it will create another RTD, but actions are first accept, operations. So once we invoke of action, it will call all the transformations and all, and it will start executing the exact or analyzed map or the process flow.
Yes, no, these are set of common questions itself. What are the best practices you have encountered or you have followed in PySpark, specific to PySpark?
Okay. The best practices I have followed for suppose like for optimizations that I have done for broadcast joining for joining to one large table and one another one is the small table and another optimization techniques for shuffle sort mark join instead of I have used hash join. So these kind of optimization I have used in PySpark, and also some of the in PySpark 3, right? We have already enabled AQE, adaptive query execution in a query engine, right? So it by default optimizes our query by doing predicate push down, by filtering all the data in a one go, less amount of data. And recently I have actually worked in all my projects are in Parquet format right now. I have only worked in Parquet and a couple of CSVs. So Parquet is a very good help because working while CSV I understood that it requires more filtering data, but Parquet can fetch you the quick information like after deployment, if we have to validate the count and if you have to particularly see couple of column values, we can use the stat values, right, for Parquet for file format. So that what I have used.
So, have you used caching or any other
Yeah,
partition
cache.
techniques?
Yeah, caching I have used in by default the cache we used in our project, but some of the data sets I have used also persist.
So, what actually is the difference between cache and persist?
Cache and persist are basically both same things. They do store our data in our memory, and data frame or RDT in our memory during the execution of our Spark applications. But persist has more memory optimized options like memory only, memory and disk, memory SAR2, SAR1. I mean the replication factor, and we can mention more options so that it will take exact amount of memory what we need to process those data. But cache is in generalized, it will always store the data or data frame firstly to the memory, and then if it is not sufficient then it will go to disk.
How about partitioning? So, have you
Yeah,
implemented?
partitioning is basically used on a particular data sets or where we have low cardinality value, right? Like where the distinct number of values which on which column we are doing the partitioning, it should be less. Otherwise, there will be more number of directories and all, because after doing a partition, we will have to write back to our data to the HDFS or the data lake. So after that, we have to mention or maintain a particular column structure or the directory structure which is stored, so that on the next workflow or the downstream, the people who are using those data can be benefited. But in case of high cardinality value, we should use the bucketing optimization technique, which we can divide those data in a particular predefined buckets, so that it will be always particular while we are using a select statement, while we are using a filter statement, it will be always a less amount of data will be parsed or I mean reduce to one particular result, right? That's why.
So now, when I just or say allocate a couple of my executors or worker nodes, so my partition size is going to be the same based on my allocation of memory. So how do I upscale or descale it? Basically, I want to increase the number of partitions or
Mhm.
decrease the number of partitions.
Okay,
How do
and
I do that?
for increasing the number of partition, we will use repartition, dot repartition method, because it will do a shuffle by internal, so that while increasing the partition, we will be using repartition. But for reducing the number of partition, we should use coalesce, so because it will merge those data in a smaller number of partitions, so it will not do the reshuffling operation. So it is less
So
costly.
can I not reduce using repartition?
Yes,
Reduce the number of
we
partitions.
can reduce using repartition, but it will unnecessarily do the shuffling. So
Mhm.
it will take, it is more expensive operation actually. And actually it is basically based on the work scenarios, like business scenarios, which we are working on the data, that what we need to do while we need to reshuffle our data while increasing or decreasing the partition number using repartition, or while we only need to reduce the data in case I mean we don't need we don't need to do the shuffling operations, right? So that it will always are less expensive operations and according to the business need.
Which of among these two helps me in avoiding the data skewness, either repartitioning or coalesce?
Repartitioning, which help can you repeat
Data
the question?
skewness. So we
Data
have something
skewness.
called as data skewness, right? So which of these two helps me in avoiding the data skewness?
This will be coalesce, because
Well,
it will
what
be,
actually is a data skewness? Can you
I mean,
illustrate?
the equal number of partitions will not have the equal number of data. I mean, amount of data, right? So that the last partition will be always taking more time if you have the if it has more than the, other average data. Like if you have five partition and the fourth partition has more data, so it will take time. So that is called data skewness.
Yeah, basically, I don't have an equal amount of data across all
Mhm.
my partitions.
Yeah.
So basically, repartitioning is doing a complete shuffle on it. So
Yeah,
which
that's
means
why
the
it will
data,
not appear data skewness there, right? But for
yeah,
coalesce, it will appear the data skewness.
right. Yeah. So let's move to some hands-on. Maybe can you share your screen and open up
Yeah,
a
sure.
notepad?
Uh, Open up a notepad, right? Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Just see my screen, right? Oh, mm, can you see my screen?
No, not yet. Yeah, I see now.
Okay.
Um, yeah, maybe you can label three columns: ID,
ID.
its name,
Mm,
and okay, age, or okay, any numeric column, maybe age. Yes, fine.
yeah.
Or yeah, let's make it marks. Okay, instead of age, let's make it marks. So let's assume there is some candidate info, and
Yeah.
hmm, okay, so ID one.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's name him Suman itself,
Yeah.
and marks 50. Same ID one, Suman again, and marks is 70 for a different record.
Okay.
Same one, Suman 90. So my desired output has to be one, Suman 50, 70, and 90 in a single row as a list.
Hmm. Like this. Oh, no.
List. Yes. List.
Uh,
Yes.
This one, right?
Yes. Okay. You can
Okay.
give me your approach in SQL, and let's do the same in PySpark also, if you're
Okay.
comfortable in both.
Yeah, sure. So basically, we will be doing select ID name marks and group by this one ID comma name, and in case of marks we have to do co-list, right, for this marks column. This one, I mean, ID name.
So this you're telling in SQL, right?
Yeah, I think co-list,
So
con
what actually
list.
this co-list does? Any idea about that function?
Yeah, basically it will do like this. I mean, it will create a list of this all the column values. I think I am doing a syntactical mistakes, or uh, the exact function is listing.
So are you aware of string aggregates?
String aggregate, yes.
So can we use one among them here?
Mm, concatenate, concat ws we have, right? And but we need to change this to string values, right?
Mm,
Because it is a marks,
yes,
right?
yes, you can.
This one marks dot cast string cast
Will
marks.
dot functionalities works in SQL?
No, sorry. This cast function, cast of uh, uh,
Maybe if you're comfortable in PySpark also, you can approach it.
mm, yeah, PySpark it will be the same. Like uh, this one, like we will have to create a particular data frame first for this for these columns, right?
Yeah, let's assume it is in a data frame called df.
Yeah. So yeah, df, and after that we will be doing group by, and based on these ID and name column, and after that we will be doing the aggregate functions where we will be using this co-list or list function on the marks, like this. It will be, I mean, if we have to do like this, and also dot alias, we can name this as marks, right?
So co-list is what I'm not sure of. So sure that it is co-list or collect list?
Collect, okay, yeah, it will be collect list, right?
Collect
Sorry,
list.
yeah,
Yeah.
collect list.
So PySpark is correct. Whereas a small suggestion is for the SQL end. So
Yeah,
instead of using concat ws, you can also use string aggregate. So which is string underscore agg. So
okay,
the syntax is very simple, where the first argument you passes the delimiter. Basically, my delimiter is a comma, right? So
yeah,
comma, and the other one is the column name. So this may be a more simpler
This one.
thing
Okay.
for a SQL. Yeah. Okay, now assume you have it in this way, 1, summon 50, 70, 90, right? You have
Yeah.
transformed it. And the column name is marks again. So I want it back to the first approach in individual rows.
Mm-hmm.
How do you achieve that? Let's assume you are approaching it using PySpark itself. How do you do that?
Okay.
So this
For the
is
first
how.
first record, right?
No. See, now you have the output, right? 1, summon 50, 70, 90, the list,
Okay.
right? So this is your input now.
Okay.
I want it back to the original format. Three different
Okay.
records for three
Mm-hmm.
different marks. You
Okay.
can either
Okay.
use PySpark or SQL, whichever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, in SQL also, like for select ID name, and we will using the same function for explode, and we will do this marks, right, on this, so that it will be divided like this one. I mean, like this one.
Understood.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh,
from this
okay.
table.
So, okay. About a different SQL program, maybe
Mm-hmm.
let's assume mm, there is an employee table. Okay.
Okay.
So, name it like ID, comma name, department, and salary. Okay. So now, give me a SQL query that gives me uh, the employee with the highest salary
Mm-hmm.
for that department, specific department. Suppose we have multiple departments,
Mm-hmm.
such as IT, Mech, or something. So I want the highest salary specific to that department.
Mm-hmm. First, for this, we will be defining our window functions on based on the salary, right? Order by salary. Okay. And later we will be using this window function in our rank function, like sorry, dense rank function, so that like
Why dense
it
rank? Why dense rank specifically?
basically it will ask you for the highest salary on department, right?
So yeah, highest salary. Okay, assume I have got two scenarios. I want you to give me the employees with the highest salary.
Mm-hmm.
Is my first case.
Okay.
Second is what is the highest salary of the department?
What is the highest salary for that department, right?
Yes. So for IT, maybe 5K is the highest salary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just want 5K for IT.
Okay, only the salary value.
Yes, only the salary value. In the second case, where in the first case, I
Mm.
need you to display the ID or the name of the employees.
Okay.
So there may be multiple employees, right, who are earning the same
Y-
5,000 as a salary.
yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For this first scenario, we will be
Mhm.
using dense rank, because first, like if we select like name, and first we will be doing this dense rank operation over on this window, right? And in this window,
1 second. So do you think SQL is smart enough to understand what that window is? Or is it a PySpark approach or a SQL approach?
no, I'm doing the in SpicePark. Okay.
Uh,
Like
yeah, let's be sure about the language or the approach you're
yeah,
using, either
this is
Spark or SQL.
no, this is Spark. I mean, like first we have defined window function, and
Mhm.
then like if we have to write in data frame. So the data frame dot
I got it. Yeah, you will arrange it in data
group.
frame. Let's write
Yeah,
only the syntax.
yeah. Like it will do this order by windows. Okay, no, I have to do this partition by department, so that it will be, and also order by salary. Okay, so here we will be using this df dot function of this one. If
If
we
you're
use,
comfortable in SQL also, I'm okay with it.
no, I can use this here, select, right?
So firstly, you can use select, but before that, you're deriving as a new column, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
okay, I can use this one then with column, and then the rank function, and then I will be doing this 10 rank dot over window. So here it will generate another column for this rank,
Hmm.
and later suppose like if we select store this in df1, and later if we want to select the only the like if we do the filtering, and where we have defined that our dense rank, like this column value,
What will you filter it for?
I mean the highest one, so I will be always equals to 1,
Okay.
right?
Um, what is the
Sending,
default?
no, wait, t is order by is already see rank 1. Now it is okay, right? I have sorted this out in DESC, and then now it will be def dot filter rank equals to 1. So all the details will be fetched here, and after that we can use not select uh, oh, this one. We can df2 equals to df1 dot filter, and df2 dot
So you are
select.
selecting, right? So that's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine. We can
yeah,
skip it.
ID name and
Got it. Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. So why did you use dense rank basically? Why not rank? Why not row number?
Rank will be repeating, right? Because and also it will miss the next rank. Suppose like for a particular department, and it will always rank orderly. And if we don't find the next possible rank, I mean the number, it will skip those. But in dense rank, it will not. It will always go to the next consecutive number.
Um, why not row number?
Row number we can use also, but for this order by and partition by, right? So one, two, yeah, row number we can also use, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So second case is I need only the salary specific to the
Mhm.
department. So can you use the same query or you
Yeah, I
will?
can use the same query. Like this is ID. This is,
Won't there be any duplicates here if you use the same query?
no, we will be needing the highest salary, right? Only the
Yeah,
salary value.
there may be records for two different employees, maybe having higher salary, right?
Yeah.
So won't you be getting some duplicates here if you are using the same?
No, actually, I will be only passing the salary values, right?
No, now you have for the first case you have selected ID and column. So this
Mm-hmm.
is going to give me the employees who are having the highest department, having the salary being the highest in the department. So for the
Mm-hmm.
second case, I need only the salary specific to the department.
Okay.
whatever was the highest salary of the department. So in that, what is your approach?
Uh,
You got my point, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
a department says IT, my highest salary is only 50 or 5,000. Okay.
Mm.
So second, if it is me, it should be 90
Yeah,
or
like
90,000 something.
for this value, right, in DF1. So we have already ranked our salary, right, on the base of department, right?
Right, right.
So after this, we can reuse this DF1. Like this DF1, we will be selecting only the rank 1,
Then
right?
you can be using DF2 itself, right?
Mm,
Because DF2 you
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah,
already
yeah.
filtered it.
For DF2, DF2 dot and uh, we will be only selecting the highest salary. So basically, we will be selecting the top row
Mhm.
for this, and
So my suggestion here is you will use the DF2. You will
mhm,
select whatever the necessary columns you want,
mhm.
right? And then you can use distinct. So it is only
Yeah,
going to
div
give you
dot
only the distinct at all.
only the distinct one, right?
Yes, yes. Okay, fine. So have you dealt with data quality in your project? So what are
Yeah,
the
data
different measures of
quality.
data quality have you leveraged?
Data quality maintenance we do in our project basically by enforcing our schema first stage,
Mhm.
and later as we don't ingest our data directly, so all this data quality maintains by them, the ingestion team. But somehow after that, we if we found any cleaning required for our data frames or for our datas in our data lake, so we have used the
What type of
no,
cleaning?
mm, like whenever we are using dot any not I mean for any null values, right? So replacing those null values with a particular business values or strings in a particular column, we have used that. And another couple of things we have done, like we maintain a particular data size of this data, like whenever we have a particular column which has a numeric value, like a long values, or so we to maintain those values, because whenever we are mm, sending those data to our downstream, it was a problem for them because they don't actually represents those columns which are very big, like a long integer in their reports and all. So we generate a particular hash value on depend on that, like all the some of the other columns which business required for that, and also generate a particular hash value. And whenever they found the same hash value, say like they put that same data in a particular category.
Fine, fine. So you spoke about schema, right?
Yeah.
So let's assume you are ingesting a file
Mm.
present in blob storage. So it's a CSV file.
Okay.
Okay. It has the same columns as we came across in the earlier example, ID, name,
Mhm.
and marks. So how do
Okay.
you make sure my ID column is an integer, name is an string, and marks is an mm, numeric or an integer? Yeah. How do you
The
make sure that
these
you're
kind
ingesting it properly
I mean
in your source?
for initial schema, it was actually defined by the business analyst, and they have the sheets and all for our discussion session with us before particular any new data frame or any new
No,
data
no.
assets.
Let's talk about the general perspective, not
Hmm.
respect your project. So,
Hmm.
general perspective. Suman,
Okay.
being a data engineer, he has
Hmm.
to just fetch my like CSV files,
Hmm.
fetch those records from that CSV file. Okay.
Okay.
So, how do you do that? My Excel is having these three columns: ID,
Okay.
name, and marks.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, how do you approach it using a Spark?
Well, firstly, I will not go for an enforce schema in a new data set. I will infer the schema, and if it will be taking any other values like string, it will always take the values as strings. So after that, verifying those data, I can enforce the schema as integer and all, which would require to be string or not.
So
Because
you're saying that you will explicitly convert the case of it. So you're converting the marks column to an
mhm,
integer. You're saying that
yeah,
you're
yeah.
specifically. So you don't have any inbuilt functionality that infers the schema from a CSV, maybe passing as an optional parameter.
Okay.
So we have
Uh,
this optional parameter, which is infer schema. When
yeah.
you define that as true, so that is going to give you the that is basically going to read the metadata of that particular file and get you what type they are actually in. So you need not explicitly convert it. So you can
Okay.
still use the same.
Okay.
Okay, then. So what is the default or not the default? Sorry. What is the general format, the file format or anything you have been loading your data frame has? You do some operations, you are
Mm-hmm.
saving that data frame
Okay.
into a file or a table, right?
Yeah.
So what are those general write formats you have used?
Okay. So basically there are four that overwrite, append, error if exist,
Mhm.
and the last one I think uh, uh, fail fast. No, no. Okay. I think it is
Ignore.
overwrite, append, and error if exist, and drop malform.
No, 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 no. You are
No, no,
actually no.
no. Okay.
So
I am
you will
switching
write
with the
the
read and write,
yes,
right? Okay.
yes, yes. Uh, okay, then I am good, Suman. So do you have any other queries for me?
Basic queries is that I understood that I am mixing those queries like SQL and PySpark data frame operations. That is will be a problem. But
Yes, yes.
the
The
basic
syntactical
I know. Yeah,
jump between the PySpark
yeah,
and SQL. Yes.
yeah. That will be the problem actually. So this I have to work on, and another things like any type of project specification I have to improve, or anything you suggest, or
So I would suggest is you can try to. So you're saying that you're working with a different team. There. Suppose the ingestion. You
mm-hmm,
said that a different ingestion team is working on it. Business team is going to give you the schema,
mm-hmm,
right? Instead of sticking to the business specific teams, so you can voluntarily pitch in saying that yes, I could do it this way. I could do it that way. So
okay,
yeah, because you're not going to work in the same type of project in this organization also when
mm-hmm,
you step in, right? So so you can try to get your voluntary skills there, and
okay,
yeah, that's
okay,
all I had. Yeah, thank you.
okay.
Nice
Yeah, it was
meeting
nice.
you.
Yeah, me too.